Hi, today I'm going to talk specifically about international travel. When you're traveling internationally, there are some additional steps that you should take to make sure that the experience goes smoothly. One is that you want to make sure that you have the visa status for your given entry and exit country aligned correctly. So if you're in the US, then most countries will allow you to just get a visa on landing, at least when it's not during the coronavirus time. But if you're from another country, then you may need to plan your trip earlier on and get a special visa. Additionally, many countries use different plugs from each other, so it can be really helpful to make sure to go out and buy an international travel adapter for your electronic devices, and this will help make sure that you have power all along. Another very important thing is to make sure that you have cell phone service. It's useful to prepare it's useful to make sure that you have a plan for how to get cell phone service, because nowadays, we have the world at our fingertips. All the information in the world is in our cell phone, especially when we're at home in our own country. But when you're traveling abroad, usually, depending on what carrier you have, you may be at a disadvantage, and also depending on the airport, whether they have Wi-Fi or not. So if you're planning to stay for more than a couple of days internationally, and you don't have a Tmobile or an international a carrier with free international service, then you're definitely going to want to buy a SIM card upon landing. The airports almost always have SIM cards for that country, for the country that you're landing in. So you wait till you get to the country that you're going to be landing in, and then purchase the SIM card. Don't buy it on a layover or anything like that, because the SIM cards are different for every single country. Now, if you're going to be traveling all the time, it may be better to get it may be better to purchase a Tmobile SIM card if you're in America, or the Google SIM card, because Tmobile actually provides free international service. Personally, I just use Verizon and then purchase a local SIM card when I land, because I think the service is so much better for Verizon than for T-Mobile, that it's worth it. Additionally, if you can't get a SIM card and you're traveling on business, it may be helpful to set up a IP phone. Usually companies will provide you a phone at your desk or for your computer, a Cisco IP phone. It works through the internet. Now, when you have this IP phone, you can actually usually make international calls. The trick is to know the extension. So you can usually dial out with a Cisco IP phone from your own to your own country just by typing 9 and then your country's code, or just your country's phone number. So 9 and then the phone number. But when you're traveling internationally, there's one more trick that you need to know. You type 9, then 011, then that country's phone number with the country code. And then you can pretty much call anywhere in the world from your computer, thanks to your company. And this can be very helpful in a pinch when you need to make a local call and you're traveling abroad. Additionally, the rule still applies that you should do whatever you can to avoid bringing a checked bag when you travel internationally, you want to keep your most important items in the carry-on bag. I find it pretty easy to bring. I find it pretty easy to bring a carry-on bag, even if I'm traveling in excess of 2 weeks. Sometimes it's even easier just to bring the carry-on bag and do laundry, because I mean it really makes a big difference in your peace of mind, and to just be able to get directly off the plane and go worry about the things upon landing, than to have that weird transition period where you're waiting for your baggage and hoping it shows up. Also, it's a good idea to keep in mind the time difference, and if you want to keep in touch with your family, then try to plan out certain times when you'll be able to call your family or loved ones. And it really helps to use the time traveling internationally to your benefit. When you're alone traveling in a hotel, you have much fewer distractions, less video games or people to talk to, more time alone. So it's much easier to focus on things like online classes. It's obviously it's good to go see the sights, but if you're on a limited schedule or you're in quarantine, then it's really a great time to catch up on online classes, reading, maybe even making a YouTube channel or a blog. And this is one way that you can use traveling to your advantage to become more successful and to stand out as a leader, rather than letting the traveling stress you out.